Good morning. This is B.V. Swami, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Aditya Birla University, Emerson Campus, Kakinada. Last class discussed in EML modeling and use-based modeling. Introduction to EML, modeling concepts, types of EML diagrams with examples. So today we are discussing user-centered design. User-centered design. What is a user-centered design? The principle of user-centered design and the essential elements in user-centered design. So, what is a user-centered design? User-centered design is a collection of process which focus on putting users at the center of product design and development. You develop your digital products taking into account your user requirements, objectives, and feedbacks. A more formal definition is the one of the provided by Interactive Design Foundation. User-centered design is an interactive design process in which designers and other stakeholders focus on the users and their needs in each phase of the design process. UCD, user-centered design, calls for involving users throughout the design process via a variety of research and design techniques so as to create highly usable and accessible products for them. User-centered principles. There are 5 major user-centered principles. A clear understanding of user and task requirements, incorporating user feedback to define requirements and designs, early and active involvement of the users to evaluate the design of the product, integrating user-centered design with other development activities, interactive design process. These are the 5 user-centered design principles and essential elements of user-centered design. Visibility. Users should be able to see from the beginning what they can do with the product, what is they about and how they can use it. Accessibility. Users should be able to find information easily and quickly. They should be offered various ways to find information. For example, call to action button, search option menu. Legibility. Text should be easy to read, as simple as that. Language. Short sentences are preferred here. The easier the page and the word, the better. User-centered design and LI. LI methods are being increasingly common in software design and development. With their collaboration customers, focus and iterative test drive approaches. There are gaining acceptance in organization as an efficient and effective way to develop software products that make a difference. And user-centered design 5 fit very with LI, Agile. Mind your user-centered design also fit in with other development methodologies, including the waterfall methodology. Here you will see some advantages brought about the incorporation of user-centered design with an LI method. Customer force or customer focus. All activities are focused on their users, on his or her needs by providing value through ensuring the usability and engagement product. Iterative development. Easily and frequent delivery of working software contributes to product visibility, reduce project risk via regular feedback, encouraging continuous improvement, and enable early realization of business benefits. Time to market. Testing. Testing plays an integral role in every phase of the product of the project life cycle. User testing is crucial for designing a product to ensure that you are working on the right things at the right time. Transparency. As stated by McNeely, all stakeholders are provided with maximum visibility into project progress. Cost reduction. Costs are reduced because users can understand and use products without additional help. There is also a reduction in training cost. Moreover, there is no need to spend time and money on redoing things. Higher customer satisfaction. At the end of the day, the user receives what they want and how they want. As you deliver what is required in your target market, you guarantee increasing sales. Risk reduction. As you work hand in hand with your users, you are sure you are going in the right direction. Productivity. As you always do what user wants, there is less need to spend time on unnecessary things or features that user will not use alike. This is the user-centered design model. Characteristics of users. The 5 activities that you should perform as a part of user-centered design is to understand your users. We point out that this is sometime you should start to do in domain analysis and the first step of use case analysis. The following are some of the characteristics that can vary from user to users as you design software, thinking about how these characters apply to your particular users. Goals for using the system. Different types of users have different job functions or roles and therefore having different goals. These goals will lead the users to want different features and to place different levels of importance on each feature. Understanding goals is critical to define the problem to be solved. Potential patterns of use. For some users, using the system may be optional. The task they would use the system for many not be an essential part of their work, or they may have some alternative way of doing task. Other users might have no choice but the use of the system. Some users may only use the system occasionally. They will therefore have to relearn it very time they want to use it. Demography. Demography variables such as the age range of your users, their educational background, their language and culture, and their geographical location will have an interface on the software design. For example, software that is used by adults in their employment will have different characteristics from software that is used to be used by children. Special attention will have to be paid if the software is to be used quality by both groups. In this case, example, a web search engine. Knowledge of the domain and of the computers. Physical ability. If the users of softwares are kept in a domain, then the software does not have to provide explanation of concept and terminology that should be known as by those experts. For example, a diagnostic assistant to be used by physician could assume that if the users understand the basic autonomy. So physical ability. You cannot assume that all users can see and hear. Other may have difficulty using a keyboard or a mouse. You must therefore ensure that the software can interact with the device that help people with a disability to use it. Some disability are quite sorry, quite stable, such as a color blindness. If you are really on people seeing colors, your application become unusable by many people. Psychological threats and emotional feelings. There are many psychological factors that should be taken into account when designing a system. These are the important functions of characters of users. Developing use case modeling of systems. When developing use case, you should start with a function partitions, a listing of a major functional categories of the application. This will help identify what are needed to be focused on. Step one, identify who is going to be using the system directly. There are the actors. Pick one of those actors. Step two, define what the actor wants to do with the system. Each of the things that the actors wants to do with the system becomes a use case. For each of those use case decided on the most usual course when the actor is using the system, what's normally happen. Step 5. Describing that basic course in the description for the use case. Step 6. Once you are happy with the basic course, now consider the alternatives and add those as extending use cases. These are the step-by-step development use case model of system. Next, use case diagrams. Use case diagrams. So, use case diagrams. In the unified modeling language, the use case diagram can summarize the detail of your systems, also known as actors, and their interact with the systems. To build ones, you will use a set of specialized symbols and characters. An effective use case diagrams can help your team discussing and represents scenario in which your system and application interacts with the people, organization, and external systems. Goals that your system or application help those entities achieve the scope of your systems. Origin of use cases. These days, use case modeling is often associated with UML, Unified Modeling Language. Although it has been introduced before UML existing, its briefly history is as follows. In 1986, Jacobson, Ivar Jacobson first formed textual and visualized modeling techniques for specifying use cases. In 1992, his co-authored book Object-Oriented Software Engineering Use Case Driven Approach, helping to popularize the techniques for capturing functional requirements, especially in software development. Purpose of use case diagrams. Use case diagrams are typically developed in the earlier stage of development, and people often applied use case modeling for the following purpose. Specify the content of a system, capture the requirement of a system, validate a system architecture, define implementation and generate test cases, development by analysts together with the domain experts. These are the main purpose of the use case diagrams. Use case diagram is a Glency. A standard form of use case diagram is defined in the unified modeling language as shown the use case diagram example below. These are the actors, and number of use cases. These are the actors, cellular association and customer cellular phones and external phone company use cases, handling message, handling call, message bill. These are the number of use cases. So what is an actor? Some interact with use cases system function named by none. The actor plays a role in the business similarly to the concept of users, but a users can play different roles. For example, a professor can be instructor and also researchers. Players two roles with two systems. Actor triggers use cases. Actors as a responsible towards the system inputs and actors as expectation from the system outputs. Use cases. System function, process automated or manual. Named verb plus noun phrase, do something. Each actor must be linked to a use case, while some use case may not be linked to actors. Communication link. What is a communication link? The participation of an actor in a use case is shown by connecting an actor to the use case by a solid line. The line is called a communication line. Actors may be connected by use case by association, indicating that the actors at the use case commonly communicated with one another by using a communication link. System boundary. The system boundary is potentially the entire system as defined in the environment in the requirement document. For large and complex systems, each modules may be the system boundary. For example, of an ERP requirement process, extended requirement process systems of an organization, each of the modules such as a personal, payroll, and accounting can form a system boundary for use cases specific to each of these boundaries function or business function. The entire system can span all of these modules dictate the overall system boundary. Last, basics of user interface design. User interface UI design focus on anticipating what users may need to do and ensuring that the interface has elements that are easy to access, understanding, and use to facilitate those actions. UI, user interfaces, brings together concepts from interactive designs, visual design, and informative architecture, information architecture. Choosing interface elements. Users have become familiar with the interface elements acting in a certain way. So try to consistent and predictability in your choice and their layout. Doing so will help with task completion, efficiency, and satisfaction. Interface is elements including, but they are not limited, input controls, navigational components, and informational components and constraints. Best practice for designing an interface. Everything systems for knowing your users, including understanding their goals, skills, preference, and techniques. Once you want to about your users, make user to consider following. Designing your interface. Keep the interface simple, creating consisting and user common UI elements. Be purposeful in page layout, strategically user color and texture, user topography to create a hierarchy and clarity. Make sure that the system communicates with what happens. Think about the default. Last concept. Usability principles. This section we discuss 12 principles that you should apply when designing and evaluating a user interface. Usability principle one, do not rely only one usability guidelines, at least test with the users. Two, best UI designs on user task as expressed in use case. Three, ensuring the sequence of actions to complete a task correctly are as simple as possible. Ensuring that the user, principle four, ensuring that the users always know what he or she can and should not text next, and what will happen when he doesn't. Five, provide good feedback, including effective error message. Six, ensuring that the users can always get out, go back, or undo an action. Ensure that the response time is adequate. User understandable labels and other encoding techniques. Ensuring that the UI appearance is neat and unobserved. Provided all the necessary help. Be consistent. These are the use case diagrams information. So please read the material, and if any doubt, you contact with directly. This is the unit one, unit two, and part one. So what is use case diagram? What is the goals of the use case diagrams, and each every one is explained. So please read it, and if any doubts occurred, please call me directly. Okay, it is clear.